Hi, me again. Been a while. And it's been a while. This is the longest break I think I've had from making YouTube videos for what, 3 or 4 years? Something like that. Quite enjoyed it. So normal service is going to be resumed next week. I'm just going to have this long bank holiday weekend off, I think. And yeah, I suppose I should let you know what I've been up to. Why, I think it's 9 days since I did a video. So I'll let you know what I've been up to. And as always, I've got a couple of things in the paper I think we can talk about. But as you can see, look, new gaff. No art on the wall yet, working on that. But yeah, I couldn't be happier. I am so happy. It's crazy. I keep stopping and looking at the bedroom or just stopping and looking at the kitchen behind you. Ah, oh, so happy. It just puts into perspective how miserable I was in that old place. I rented this horrible little cottage and I was just so unhappy there. Just so miserable. This place is like the opposite. It was so dark in the cottage, right? Because it was right on the street, like the pavement was only that wide out the front. So you couldn't have your blinds open all the time because people would just stop and look in. I didn't like that. And the rear garden bit, the neighbours, it's all shared, right? So the neighbours walk past, so you don't have it. But because it was all close quarters, it was dark. So even if I had them all open, I didn't get any light in and it was just cold all the time. Look at this place. I've got Velux windows everywhere. So happy. So happy. Am I happy because I really like the place? Yes. Is it because I bought the place? Yeah, maybe. Maybe it's a combination of everything. But I do feel really, really happy and very, very lucky to be in the position I'm in to have bought this place. It's only cheap. I mean, it was 160 grand. And where I am in Essex, you're lucky if that gets you a studio. So I was very, very lucky with it. What else been up to? Oh, I went to Steel Panther dinner. Last weekend was a brilliant weekend. I got the keys to this place on Friday last weekend. And then Saturday morning, I'm on a train heading into London with my friend. And we went to see my favourite band of them all. I know they're not to everybody's taste. But Steel Panther, it's a parody of 80s hair metal. And they're all old, they're all in their 50s. And their songs are good, but disgusting. My mum wouldn't listen to them, for instance. They are, yeah, disgusting. Yeah, I'll put a couple of the titles of the songs on the screen. Your mum don't like me playing them in the car. But yeah, I got all dressed up and everything. And my friend, she's seen them 5 times. And she introduced me to the band about 6 years ago, and she bought me a ticket as a present to cheer me up, which it very much did. And her dream, she's got a thing for the lead singer, a guy called Michael Starr. And her dream's always to meet him. And she's been 5 times and never managed it. So we're in Kentish Town. I think the show started at 7. And it's about 2 p.m. I'm all done up in me rock gear with me fake sleeve tattoos and everything. I was quite pleased with how I looked. And we're just walking to the venue just to see what the queue situation is. And then we're going to go get hammered, as you do. And we're walking down Kentish Town High Street. And I hear, oi! And I turn around, there's an old blonde man behind me looking at me. I thought, what's all this about? And she's just started screaming. Just screaming. She was. Lead singer of the band. He come out and he said, oh, we were just in there having some food. They were in a kebab shop, rock and roll, right? Yeah, I saw you walk past and I thought, yeah, you've made a good effort. I wanted to say hello. And I said that the whole band were in there eating kebabs. Come out. She wouldn't put him down. She would not put him down. She's all over him. She's got him doing videos for her daughter. Everything. And the whole band is like that. And I said, come on, you've got to put him down. I've got a show today tonight. Oh, it was great. But to meet him on my first time. And he is one of my heroes, Michael Starr from Steel Panther. That was a good weekend. And we went to the pub and then everyone started coming in dressed like us. And we met quite a few people. We were late getting to the queue. The queue was round the block by the time we got to the O2 thing in Kentish Town. And a couple of people that we'd met in the pub let us cut in, which was nice. So I bought them a drink in there. A round of drinks in there was 50 quid for the 4 of us. And you couldn't get them 2 pinters, which is messy, right? Because there's thousands of people all like that, jumping up and down mosh pits and that, and I'm trying to hold on to a 2-pint look. Oh, it was amazing. She was a liability, though. I tell you what, you want a night out, you take my friend out with you. Look at this, look. I genuinely thought, oh was going to see the end of the night in A&E, the way it was going off in there. When they come back for an encore, I was scared for my life. Scared for my life. It's crazy. But yeah, brilliant night out. And then Sunday, obviously recovering. We had to come home on the train, rail replacement, bus service. And then the removal people came on Tuesday. And I'm on the second floor here. And there's no lift. I did feel sorry for them. It weren't cheap. But I'm glad I've never had removals before. Normally I'm too tired to do it myself. I'll rent a transit for 50 quid and then do it myself. But yeah, glad I didn't. So I had a really good weekend last weekend. Keys to my first ever place I've bought. Went to see my favourite band with a great friend and met the band and got hammered and made some good friends. Yeah, pretty good. So yeah, as I say, normal service is going to be resumed next week. And don't forget the TV license stop channel. Going to do more on that. I've got the green screen being set up in here so I can do all that. But I just wanted to update you with what's been going on. And one of the things I said I was going to follow was the Schofield story. And it's getting worse and worse. Isn't it? And there's loads of people saying here that Holly turned on him. And what Holly wants, Holly gets. But this all happened, the whole Schofield runoff with Holly happened after his brother's court case. Right? So Holly may have learned something from that and decided to distance herself from him, which was the right thing to do. And yeah, it's come out now that he's had an affair with a young person who worked at the show. Not illegal, just immoral or something, were the words. Is this the end of what we're going to hear about this? I don't think it is. I think there's more to come. Do I think it's going to be as bad as some 70s entertainers? No, but it's bad. It will be bad enough if something like that comes out, wouldn't it? So yeah, it's getting. I said, didn't I, when they were talking about it, and Holly wants to do the show on her own, and she wants him to leave, and all this. I said, something's. I'm going to follow it. It's getting interesting. And one of the what's it on Facebook? This thing. I won't say the name of the Facebook group, but someone sent me. It's quite funny, and they've updated that. So yeah, and current consensus for his replacement, if you're interested in stuff like that, seems to be either Ryland Clark or Alison Hammond. Ryland every morning, that'd be a bit much, maybe. I don't know. I don't watch it anyway, so it doesn't bother me. But yeah, I don't know. Interesting, right? And then I saw this one. Look, BBC takes Top Gear and Doctor Who into the metaverse. Because the metaverse is well known for having millions of users. Oh, no, that's wrong. Isn't it? About 4 users worldwide. And the BBC, all right, it's BBC Studios, so it's not directly your licence fee payer money, but it is licence fee payers' money because BBC buys shows from BBC Studios using licence fee payers' money. So the profits in and the turnover in BBC Studios, a lot of it does come from TV licence fee payers. So we can still talk about it. And yeah, BBC Studios joins over 400 other entertainment brands who have entered the sandbox to date, including Warner Music Group, Ubisoft, Gucci Vault, The Walking Dead, and Adidas. It sounds like a money-burning party, doesn't it? You know, the joint venture between BBC Studios and Reality Plus marks the first time BBC will have a home in the metaverse. That very important place that everybody needs to be focusing on. The metaverse. Just sounds like a money-burning party, doesn't it? And they've got shows to make. You know what I mean? Why are they peeing about putting Doctor Who stuff and Top Gear stuff into the metaverse? Is this it? You've run out of ideas to make telly shows, have you? It's all over, is it? You've got no telly shows left to make. And then this one is not the most exciting story in the world, but I thought it was interesting because look, Springwatch host Michaela Strachan blames BBC licence fee on show's acts. Yeah? She actually said it. Look, it says here, we have to be realistic. Less people are buying the licence. There is more choice of what to watch. Budgets have got smaller, and the production was given a choice of either cutting the budget on everything or getting rid of them. It's not a good way. How many times do I have to say it, right? It's not a good way of funding a broadcaster because everybody feels like they're a stakeholder to it. I get to comment on it because I've paid the licence fee in the past. So I'm a stakeholder in the BBC, I get to comment on it. Whatever ITV does is none of my business, because they show ads, they pay for themselves. The licence fee is not a good way to fund it. You can't please everybody all the time. And she's right, with less people paying the licence fee, budgets are smaller. But the BBC don't handle the money. They get 3.7. How many times do I have to say it? 3.7 billion quid a year. And they're struggling to make a cheap show like Springwatch. You know, the waste is so ingrained in the BBC that they can't make that amount of money stretch. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. What else have we got? Have I got anything else to talk about? Do have a ton of stuff, actually. A ton of stuff. I won't talk about it all here, obviously. I'll stretch it out, get some more videos out of it. I've got a mortgage to pay now. But this one, look, BBC and debt charity partner to help people struggling to pay for a TV licence. So it's going on and on and on again. This is in your area and it's something to do with Birmingham Live. And they're still talking about the BBC partnering with Step Change to help people budget and pay for the TV licence fee. And I've said it a million times. Step Change is a debt charity where desperate people go to for help. I was one of them. I did it. I went to Step Change. And that's still recording. I've had problems with this camera. And when I went to Step Change, and you can go on the Step Change website now, right? And nowhere in the TV licensing section or in the saving money section does it say you don't have to pay the TV license as long as you don't watch or record anything being broadcast or use BBC iPlayer. Nowhere in there does it say it. This is a charity to help people who are desperate over their finances, and nowhere is it telling them they can save the 159 quid a year. And now they've partnered officially with the BBC. Do you think that information will ever appear on Step Change? Do you think that's all right? This is just establishing more and more and more to desperate people that you must pay the 13 quid a month, 159 quid a year TV licence fee. There is no way out of it. Because, you still see like the local newspaper ones. Where is it? There's one here. I had another one. Old internet's a bit pony in here. The broadband speeds are rubbish. My old place, I was getting 300 meg for 20 quid a month, which was absolutely insanely cheap. Here, BT wanted 36 quid a month on a 2-year plan for 36 megabits per second. So I went with a 4G one in the end because I'm hoping that someone else, I don't want to be tied in for 2 years. But anyway, where were we? Milford Haven resident fined for TV licence offence. Yep, this is in the Pembrokeshire Herald, and it's another one of those naming and shaming ones, which obviously I'm not going to include the guy's name. It says the offence occurred on May the 15th, 2023, so quite a recent one. And he appeared before the court where he received a financial penalty of £220 for his illegal television activities. Shocking, how dare he? And the CPS said, using a television set without a valid licence is a violation of the law and carries consequences. No. Using a television to access or record live broadcast TV or use iPlayer is a violation of the law. Using a television, I've got a telly on the wall there, that thing's been on a lot. I'm not breaking the law? No. No, I think I've got another letter actually as well. There was another letter in the post box. I hadn't been here a couple of days. Mind you, I was getting letters here beforehand. But it is essential for individuals to comply with legal requirements to maintain a fair and regulated broadcasting environment. But the CPS want us, to maintain or to stick with or to comply with legal requirements, but they can't even get the charge right. Because using a television set without a valid licence is not a violation of the law, is it? It's not owning the television that's the problem without a TV licence. It's what you use the television to do. And this is one of the better written ones. I mean, it's still naming and shaming this poor guy in his local area. Everyone's, I saw you in the paper. And it's just reinforcing the narrative that you have to have the licence fee. Madness. Madness. So I think I'll leave it there. I'm about 15 minutes in. About 15 minutes in. So I'll leave it there. But I just wanted to update you on what I've been up to because I'm quite cheerful indeed at the moment. Haven't got my bath because I told you a few weeks ago, didn't I? It got reversed into by an Audi and that's in the shop being repaired. So I've had a brand new Mini Cooper S convertible for a while, which didn't help with the moving because I don't have a lot of boot on it, but it's with the weather. It's been lovely, isn't it? I'm toying with the idea of going to see my friend who lives in Cornwall this weekend. I might spend Sunday night down there or something because I've got a convertible and it's free. I mean, I couldn't even dream of affording to stay in Cornwall on a bank holiday. But when you've got a friend who's got a spare room and an open invitation, it's nice having I miss having a convertible. I was looking at chopping the Abarth in and getting the Abarth convertible. But no, I love that car. I love that car. I can't wait to get it back. And go and listen to, not all of you, but some of you go and listen to some Steel Panther. And when we was talking to the lead singer, he said they're going to be on America's Got Talent this year. They've done the audition. And one of my favourite auditions of all time on any of the talent shows was on America's Got Talent. It was Johnny Showcase. If you haven't seen it, go and look at type in Johnny Showcase, America's Got Talent on here, and look at their first audition. Proper. And the problem I've got with Steel Panther doing America's Got, they only, from what I understand, I think they've only got 2 songs that don't involve drugs, strippers, or loads and loads of swearing. So that'd be interesting because he said I'm not going to change the lyrics. We are who we are. I don't quite know how they're going to go with that. I can't wait to go and see him again. I don't know if I'm going to travel to go and see him again, or I'll just wait till next year when they're back in England. I wanted to see him. I know I'm talking about him a lot. It's my favourite band in the world, and I met them. When I was down in Spain, I was talking, like it was a couple of years ago, I was talking to some people in a pub, and we were talking about, what's it called, your bucket list thing. And I said, if I'm on my deathbed and I haven't seen Steel Panther play, I will have regrets about that. And then literally 2 days later, I'm walking the dog in Spain, just down some main road, and there's a poster for Metal Fest, and Steel Panther were headlining. So I went and bought the best tickets I could get immediately. And then 2 weeks later, it got cancelled because they couldn't get the staff. I thought, I'm never going to see it. So I've knocked off 2 of my top 3 bucket list things in one weekend. See Steel Panther live, buy my own property. The other one that's in the top is to write off a hire car. I like that, man. It's a weird thing. I've always dreamed of writing off a hire car because it's not your car, is it? Just smashing it. I wouldn't do it on purpose. So is that a weird one? I think that's probably a weird one. Anyway, I'm going to finish my cup of tea and going to go round and see the kids because my sister lives on this road. 5-minute walk, I can go and play with the kids. I turned up there last night with the wig and the fake tattoos and everything I thought I was meant. Anyway, ta-ta. I'll see you in the next one.